there, it's Sam. I'm here in New York. I'm actually in Soho, Chinatown actually. If you look up this street, this is some of the shops in Chinatown, around here. Chinatown and Little Italy are very close to each other in this section of town, Soho. It's near Bowery Street and Canal Street. And just making this quick video today about Saturn Moon conjunction in Virgo. We talked about this week earlier when Jupiter was going to aspect the Moon as it goes through Leo, and then it was going to be Saturn Moon in Virgo, and then Jupiter aspecting the Moon in Libra. So now we're in the Moon Saturn. Hang on a second. Now we're in the Moon Saturn conjunction in Virgo, and the influence of Saturn on the Moon brings about a lot of it's a feeling of heaviness, because the Moon is where we generate a lot of our preconceptions about the way we want the world to look, because really the Moon is our emotional patterning. The Moon is the part of us that absorbs everything, literally, that since the time we were young, all of the impressions and the things in our life went into our Moon. Whether we consciously remember that or not, it's all been recorded there. And that includes all the good, the bad, the ugly, and basically it shows the sort of aggregate result of what we're comfortable with, what we want to receive in order to feel like we're having a sort of congruent experience. Because that's what the Moon is. It is that sense of congruence from our childhood all the way up until now, and in fact eventually into our past lives. The Moon is the Jiva Atman, and the Jiva goes with us from lifetime to lifetime. But of course it's also this lifetime, and the reason why, for instance, even though our childhood was a really long time ago, we still feel like that was me somehow. This sort of coherence and congruence of feeling comes from the Moon. So Saturn comes, and Saturn brings a feeling of limitation. He shows the limit of things, of all things, and that we only get so much of a certain amount of something. And the Moon, again, it's that sort of connection we have to a congruence, which also refers to a sort of consistency of feeling, and the things that we're looking for outside to mirror that and to give that outer reflection of our inner experience. So Saturn comes and says, okay, that inner environment is not, you're not able to actually feel completely whole through that. And it brings this sort of feeling of limitation, and it has the effect of sort of shattering our illusions around external experiences that we hoped would make us feel good or make us feel connected and whatnot. So we're feeling that Thursday and Friday, and the Moon and Saturn are in Virgo. Of course, that's where Saturn is right now, is in Virgo. The Moon went into Virgo last night, which would have been Wednesday night. And so we'll be experiencing this through most of Friday. I think it changes early Saturday, it goes into Libra. But so Moon joins Saturn. It's quite interesting for that. Take a look at your emotional responses the next couple days, and stay loving to yourself and others as much as possible. Notice any illusions getting shattered and any kind of emotional pressure that you feel, and notice how you respond to that. The greatness of Saturn in general, whether it influences the Moon or anything else, is the capacity for introspection, especially with the Moon, because the Moon is really the part of us where we need introspection. Because again, the problem with the Moon is that we look outside of ourselves to try to find some outer experience that is going to make us feel anchored. And depending on what our psychological environment is, which is also the Moon, that shows what we look for outside. This is why, for instance, when we've had a difficult childhood, we look for something difficult outside, because that's what feels in harmony with our inner environment. So the pressure of Saturn shows it's not outside, it's not out here, it's only in here. And that's how Saturn delivers us to deep peace and deep appreciation and deep love, ultimately through this shattering of illusions. But it makes us mature, it makes us emotionally mature, and we're usually we're usually emotionally immature. So anyway, one last tour of Soho, Chinatown. It's hot and humid here. We just had a little thunderstorm, and so I'm at the corner of Mott and Hester. So my hotel is up there. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good weekend. Maybe I'll do something this weekend too, if I get some time.